What's going on, STEM junkies? High STEM Ace here, and I want to wish you all a happy High STEM Saturday. This video here is for the STEM junkies, aka the High STEM pre-workout community. Now, today we are going to be doing an updated Dark Labs ranking for 2025 going into 2026. In case you guys lived under a rock and haven't heard of Dark Labs, they are one of the premier supplement brands when it comes to STEM junkie pre-workouts, and they release some of the best pre-workouts known to mankind as far as the STEM junkie realm goes. Now, for 2025, they slowly reformulated a bunch of their products. I reviewed a lot of their pre-workouts, the most recent up-to-date versions. If you guys haven't seen those reviews, I'm going to pin a comment. You guys can check it out and watch all those reviews. But we have a lot of things to go over. We are going to do an updated ranking for Dark Labs, starting at the bottom and slowly working our way up. So let's not waste any more time. Let's roll that freaking intro. And when we come back, we are going to rank Dark Labs for 2025 going into 2026. All right, guys, so we have 11 products that we are going to be ranking today, and obviously we're starting at the bottom and working our way up. Now, on this list here, I'm only going to be going over the stimulant-based pre-workouts. There's not going to be any pump formulas on here, no pimp, no Manako pump, even though I do love Manako pump a lot. It's one of my favorite pump formulas. Definitely going to be on another list. Like I said, lots of lists coming in December, so subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. But we are only going to be going over pre-workouts in powder format, no capsules, no Ripper, no WHIMBI, no adrenaline, none of those guys. Strictly pre-workouts and strictly stim-based products. With that being said, we are going to begin at the number 11 spot, and wow, this is going to be unpopular. We are starting off with controversy right off the bat. The number 11 spot for High STEM Ace is Crack Gold. Yeah, guys, the all-new version of Crack Gold, which used to be one of their best and most legendary pre-workouts back in the day, but Crack Gold to me was a massive, massive disappointment. Now, there is a possibility that they released a second batch, a more recent, up-to-date, manufactured properly type of Crack Gold, but I haven't tried it. I tried the batch from about 8 or 9 months ago when they first reformulated that one and Crack Purple. Both at the time were massive, massive letdowns, but I did try the latest up-to-date Purple. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but for me, the Crack Gold was a massive, massive letdown. Just nothing happening, very uneventful, and you still got the negative side effects. You still got the stimmy willy. There was a bit of a crash that came with it, but none of the positives. Nothing. Just an uneventful experience all around. So like I said, I haven't had the latest up-to-date batches, but the batch I had from about 8 months ago was definitely not it. At number 10, we have Dark Labs Fat Burner Heroine, and this is a fat burner, but it is also a pre-workout because it does come in powder format, and even though there are no pumps in there, you can definitely run it as a pre-workout that's going to give you a nice thermogenic edge and really dial you in on the cardio or the weightlifting session, whatever it is that you're doing. You can definitely pair this one with a pump formula, and overall it is a solid product, but for whatever reason, I always had bad experiences when it came to Heroine, even going back to that original crazy version they had about 2 years ago, where I really thought I was gonna have my heart leap out of my chest, and I was just looking into the gym mirror, sweating profusely and contemplating my existence. V2 was definitely toned down. It wasn't nearly as insane as that version. It didn't have as much alpha yo and yohimbai, and it didn't have the AA, if you guys know what I'm talking about, but for whatever reason, I've never jived with Heroine. It always gives me a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of an elevated heart rate. It definitely hit nicely, definitely gave a good buzz, but it's also been a very long time since I ran it. From what I remember, it wasn't particularly memorable. It definitely hit all the stim junkie notes, but it's not something I would ever go back to. So in my opinion, Heroine gets the number 10 spot. At number 9, we have Crack Daily, and pretty much any product you're going to have here on and onwards is something that I do like and something that I would go back to most of the time, and Crack Daily is definitely on that list. Now, it's not a super illicit product. There's no Araya in there. There's no 2-amino in there. It does have a little bit of alpha yo. It's been a while since I ran it, but from what I remember, I think it was 1.5 milligrams, maybe 2 milligrams of alpha yo. It had like 350 caffeine, if I recall correctly, maybe 400, but it just hit really nice, definitely hit above its weight. It was a good combination of well-sourced caffeine, some alpha yo, some good beta tingles, and something that you could run like 4 times a week with no issues whatsoever, no come down, no stimmy willy, no drama whatsoever. Crack Daily gets the number 9 spot. At number 8, we have Crack Diamond. Now, Crack Diamond was originally a European exclusive product, and I did get that European import coming in because obviously Heist Maze has to have the latest crack, no matter which country it comes from. But I liked Crack Diamond. It does have the canna in there, which kind of takes the edge off a little bit, so don't expect a crazy, stim, junky, illicit, over the top, Dark Labs, hopped up out of your mind experience. This is a more chill pre workout, but something you could run like twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. It says Jugglin's Reach on the back label, but you're definitely getting the synthetic lab made yum yums that we know and love. It takes a little while to build. It's not going to hit you with a gratuitous amount of energy. And the canna, really, people respond very differently to it. Some people say it makes them tired, it makes them lethargic. For me personally, at whatever dose it was, I think it was 100 milligrams or 80 milligrams, it wasn't a high dose. And for me, it just kind of balanced everything out. It was a positive experience. It was a good mood elevating type of pre workout without being too crazy, over the top, dramatic, which is why this gets the number 8 spot. Now, at number 7, we get the all new and latest up to date Crack Purple. Now, this one here is technically the original one that started it all. Obviously, the tub back then had different ingredients. The tub looked a little bit different, and we still have that original tub here in the background. You guys can see it right up there. But this all new version I just reviewed not too long ago, maybe about a month ago, and I was very surprised with it because when I received this one, when I got a sample of this about 8 months ago or so when they first reformulated, man, this thing was just as bad as that Crack Gold, and it was very uneventful and very, very disappointing. Luckily for us, Dark Labs got the manufacturing together, and the second run that came out has been great. It's not going to smack you. It's not going to destroy you. You're not going to be hopped up, but you are going to get that good, nice 2-amino buzz, very good mood elevation, bordering on a euphoria, but without being too crazy. You are still very much in control, and this is definitely something I would recommend to beginners, somebody that wants to dabble into the world of DMHA, someone that's never tried that ingredient before in a pre-workout. This is definitely one that I would recommend as an entry point, but it's also something I would recommend to veterans of the game as well. It's just a nice, no nonsense, no drama pre-workout, good, solid, clean DMHA pre. It's productive. It's got a nootropic feeling despite not having a lot of nootropics in there, and no crash whatsoever. So overall, a very good product and definitely worthy of the number 7 spot. At number 6, we have Crack Primal coming in to take that spot. And this is one that I really liked and one that really surprised me because it has about half of the caffeine content that the Crack Purple has. I think Crack Purple has a total of 450, something like that. This one has about 235, so about half of what Crack Purple has, but it still provides you a really nice, clean DMHA buzz, very mood elevating and very motivational type of energy without being too over the top. No elevated heart rate, no anxiety, no drama. Stimmy Willie is still there. Obviously, you're getting the goods in here, and it definitely shows. But this is a product that's very clean, and one of the more euphoric Dark Labs pre-workouts. Would probably put it at the top 3 euphoric Dark Labs products for 2025. But man, this one's really nice. Lower caffeine content, so you don't feel as guilty. Your heart's not going crazy. Very productive, very clean, very solid. Tastes pretty good too, which is why it gets this spot on the list. Now, at the number 5 spot, we are getting the stim package known as Dark Labs Flame. Now, this is V3. It's never been upgraded to V4 as of yet, but this is the latest version, the latest run, and this thing just hits on all cylinders. It's a tiny scoop, about 4.5 grams, super, super tiny scoop. You're going to look at this scoop and you're going to tell yourself, how the hell is this going to get me going in the gym? You guys best believe this thing is going to kick your ass, but also give you a crazy wave of euphoria, great mood elevation, great motivation. It's just going to put you in this perfectly positive headspace, but it's also going to kick your ass. You're going to sweat. The heart rate's going to go up a little bit. You're going to have a little bit of that extra stimulation going throughout your body. You're definitely going to feel this one. It builds in about 20 minutes, and there's essentially 0 pumps in here, I think, other than agmatine at 1 gram, which really on its own won't do all that much. So this is a perfect product to stack on any pump formula, whether it's a fully loaded non-stim pre-workout, whether you just wouldn't put pump caps or something that's a little bit lighter on the pumps, but whatever it is, you can definitely stack this one. One thing I gotta say though, when it comes to the flavor, this is easily the worst tasting pre-workout of the current Dark Labs line. Dark Labs used to be known for their nasty pre-workouts, and this right here is the only leftover relic from that era from about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. These days, a lot of their pre-workouts are way better tasting. Not that we really care because we are reviewing Dark Labs, so who the hell cares about flavor? But as a reviewer, I gotta put it out there, Dark Labs Flame still has that chemical taste from about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, while the newer pre-workouts all have an updated, modern flavor. So it is what it is, but at number 5, we are getting the almighty Flame. Next up, at the number 4 spot, we are getting the all new Crack Barbarian. Yeah, this is definitely an interesting one because when you look at the previous version of Barbarian, that one gave you a crazy floaty head high and this insanely illicit focus that lasted for hours on end. You literally felt like you're floating on that one. But if I'm being honest, the old version of Barbarian never really had that crazy aggression to it. It never really got you hopped up. It never got you feeling like a barbarian. So I always thought the name was really funny because to me, that version was super nootropic heavy, super dialed in focus, and crazy euphoria and buzz, just insane all around. Now, this new version exchanges that buzz and gives you a crazy sense of aggression, a sense of urgency. You're going to get shit done in the gym. You will sweat on this one. You will push hard on this one. You're probably going to break PRs on this one as well. I'm not somebody that trains for PRs, but I push heavy each and every time I'm on this product. It takes it about 25-30 minutes to start building, and this is an experience that lasts like 3.5, 4 hours. It's going to take a while to come down from this one, so definitely run it in the morning. That way you can kind of build off of that energy and run it for the rest of the day because you're going to feel this one for the rest of the day. You might get a little jittery, you might get a little shaky, you might have a bit of an elevated heart rate. So if you're somebody that's not used to these products, always start off with half a dose or 3/4 of a dose to assess tolerance. This one is strong and definitely earns the name Barbarian in the title. At number 3, we have one of my favorite products and one that is definitely considered to me a tale of redemption. At number 3 is Crack Reloaded. And yes, guys, I am putting a non-DMHA crack at the number 3 spot because they did such an incredible job reformulating this pre-workout. In case you guys don't know, the original Crack Reloaded was one of the worst pre-workouts I ever took. I ran it a couple of times from 2 different batches that were produced in different facilities at different times, and both experiences were equally awful. Just felt nauseous, actually did throw up once from it, cold sweats, anxiety, jitters that lasted for 7 to 8 hours. And it was just a terrible experience all around. Even at one scoop, half a dose, I still felt very negative on that original Crack Reloaded. When they released the new version, I was obviously a little hesitant, but I had to give it a shot. I was very curious. And I gotta say that this thing did a complete 180 and it literally became one of my favorite Dark Labs products. Obviously, it's at the number 3 spot. Now, this one here does not have DMHA, but it has a very hefty dose of Araya, so you're still going to get that nice mood elevation, that clear head high, not as intense as you would from their 2 amino products, but really good in its own right. You're getting a good dose of alpha yo. I forgot if it was 2 or 2.5 milligrams, but really, really good. It's not overpowering. It's perfectly balanced. You're going to get the nice mood elevation. You're also going to get the aggression, and they're going to be interchangeable and really create a perfectly balanced package. Now, speaking of a perfectly balanced package, you're also getting 8 grams of citrulline in here, some agmatine, so you're going to get nice, swole, juicy pumps on this one. It also keeps everything flowing blood-wise, so you're not going to get too hopped up on this one. You're going to be in a perfect headspace, but this here is something between a high-end, top-shelf daily driver and a stim junkie pre-workout. I would probably label this as a medium stim pre-workout, but man, I love this one. It's something you could run like 3 days a week with no issues. There's no come down. There's no negative side effects. I mean, if you're not used to alpha yo, maybe it's going to slap you a little bit. But this is another product that's a builder. It takes it about 25-30 minutes to really build up. You do not need to stack anything on top of it. No pumps, no, I mean, if you could stack a thermogenic, hell, you could stack thermogenics on anything, but really no pumps necessary. You don't have to add any more stimulants to it. It's perfect as it is. You don't have to add any alpha yo capsules or anything like that. This is an amazing, beautiful, get shit done type of pre-workout that I would safely run 3 times a week, no issues whatsoever, which gives Crack Reloaded the number 3 spot. At number 2, we got the Garage Gym Homie collaboration, and this here, boys, is Manako. Yeah, guys, Manako. What an amazing freaking pre-workout. And this one here is incredible because there are only 7 ingredients in here, but each one of these ingredients serves a purpose. You can be a total novice when it comes to reading labels, but you can go through this ingredient panel right here and everything on here makes sense. Everything has a purpose and everything you can actually tell what it's doing in the gym. You got 10 grams of citrulline in here, which is going to give you the nastiest pumps ever. 4 grams of tyrosine to give you a super, super nootropic focus that's going to last for the entire day. DMHA. You got the beta-alanine, the caffeine at 400, which is not too crazy, Araya and DMHA combo, and obviously some alpha-yo to give you a crazy sense of urgency and aggression. But this is such a well-balanced package, and it just hits on all cylinders. Definitely an experience that's going to last for hours on end. You're going to push hard on this one. You're going to feel euphoric from the DMHA and from the Araya, but then it's going to interchange with that alpha-yo aggression. You're going to sweat a little bit. The heart rate's going to be a little up, but it's going to put you in such a great headspace. I've never taken this and had a bad workout. I've never taken this and felt sick afterwards. Always a positive experience. You had the original run, the very first manufacturing run that was a little bit more euphoric. The latest version, which technically is still V1, it's not V2, it's just the second run of the same product, but it does tend to hit a little bit more aggressively in my experience. This tub is already halfway done, so you guys know I've went through my share of Manako, but this one here will definitely make you feel like a Manako. You're going to be hopped up out of your mind, and you're going to love every second of it. What's going on, guys? Ace here, making a quick interruption from the post-production editing studio. Now, the reason I'm on here is because I completely forgot to mention one of my favorite limited edition crack products, and it's blowing my mind that I forgot about this one and that it slipped my mind. Literally, when I was putting away all the other tubs, I saw it there staring right at me, and I couldn't freaking believe I forgot to mention this one here. Now, the pre-workout that we are going to be adding to the list unofficially is Dark Lab's Crack Halloween. Literally, my favorite time of year, my favorite holiday of the year, and I forgot all about it. Shame on me. But either way, this one here is crazy, and this is a limited edition drop. I don't know if they even have this in stock anymore, but this was a pre-workout I really enjoyed. I reviewed this one. I'm going to link the review down below, but this has a crazy label, comprehensive pump package, a lot of nootropics, a lot of stimulants, a lot of feel-good, mood-elevating, euphoric type of ingredients in here, and one that is really memorable. Although I personally wouldn't run this one more than once or twice a month because there is a bit of a come down, and the Stimmy Willy meter comes in at a 15 out of 10 on this one. But overall, crazy unique experience, perfect balance of euphoria, mood elevation, and energy with just a little bit of that extra kick to get you going right in time for the holiday season. Now at the number one spot, to nobody's surprise, we have Crack the OG. Now this one here is indeed an OG. Technically speaking, it's not an OG because the OG was the Crack Purple from back in the day, but this was the product that they replaced it with when they got rid of that original version of Purple, and this essentially became the flagship product. To me, this right here, as well as Flame, are two of the last remnants of what I would consider to be old Dark Labs. It has that old school feel with that insane 2-amino that just really pushes you to the next level. Most people can't handle this at the full 2-scoop dose. Most people will take it at 1 scoop, 1 1/4, 1 1/2. I've personally only ran this at 2 scoops. I think I tried it once at 1 scoop, but whatever. I run this at 2 scoops, and I don't really have to pair anything on top of it. Maybe I'll pair some nitric oxide capsules or maybe some glycerol, but you're getting clinical doses of the pumps in here, so you don't have to stack any pumps on top of this, no citrulline, nothing like that. And this thing is just an experience that has to be experienced. You're going to take the drink, and within 20-25 minutes, you are literally God. You're going to be pushing, you're going to be pulling, you're going to be going crazy in the gym. You're going to be so hopped up and so in the zone on this one. And this definitely feels like one of those pre-workouts that kind of borrows from the future you. So if you're running this on a Saturday morning, you best believe you're going to need to recover a little bit on Sunday, because this one here is just on a whole other level. What a crazy experience. Crack the OG rightfully getting the number one spot. All right, guys, so that is the list. I hope you enjoyed it. And as you guys saw, pretty much everything on this list has been a positive experience for me, other than the 2 pre-workouts at the bottom being Crack Gold and Heroine. Everything other than those 2 is a positive. It's something that I would come back to. And they all do have their own little characteristics to differentiate them. Obviously, Dark Labs is all about the crack, and you guys watching are all about the crack. But there are little nuances, little variants, which actually give a meaning to you guys choosing which one you want to go with. If you guys want to pick up any of the products you saw on this list, you can head over to darklabs.pro, use discount code ACE at checkout. It will save you 10% off your entire order and help support the Heist to Mace YouTube channel. They are also available over at NutraCartel.com using discount code ACE15 to save 15% side-wide. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the video. It greatly helps the algorithm. Comment below, give me your top Dark Labs pre-workouts. What is your ranking? I want to hear from each and every one of you guys in the comments down below. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel. It is December. It is the month of top list. There's going to be a lot of lists coming, all right? So you guys better keep up with it. Subscribe, hit the little bell notification to get all of HeistAmace's latest updates. Follow me on Instagram at HeistAmace, and I will see you all next time for the next HeistAm pre-workout review. Take care, everybody. HeistAmace, signing off.